We're here tonight to celebrate the 20th anniversary of something that began really as a dream.
The dream back then was to have a high school in Bergen County for girls.
I thought it was something very important to have a serious high school for young women where they would teach Gemara and they would be exposed to the highest levels of learning.
There needed to be a place where education was not going to be a teacher standing in front of the room and telling students what to think or what to write. There were going to be discussions, and there was going to be a chavruta study, and there was no school like that currently for women.
Maayan water is a symbol of Torah. We wanted that kind of message also for our students, that they were going to be serious learners of Torah, but they were also going to be teaching Torah.
One most important of the founding steps was a meeting that we had with Harav Aaron Lichtenstein from Yeshivat Har Etzion in Israel. He said that women in this generation are reaching the highest levels at universities and in science and in literature. There's no reason why they should not also be reaching the same levels in Torah.
There were many opinions on the part of the lay leadership as to how we saw the school. Some of our early board meetings were quite vocal.
Where there are two Jews, there are three opinions. So here there were at least 10 opinions.
But one thing that we did agree on was that our community should have a girls' high school.
Esther Krauss put together an amazing founding faculty. They were successful in their careers already, and so here they took a chance by coming to a new school.
I got a phone call from Mrs. Esther Krauss asking me if I might be interested to help found a school.
The challenges were many: financial, educational, logistical, getting students, getting parents.
We had purchased this building on 1650 Palisade Avenue, getting it all ready, going through the construction process.
I do remember all of the heartache and the concerns that after all of the work that we did, the doors might actually not open.
We got on the phone, and we were each charged with convincing two girls to come to this new school. We were brutal, we were shameless. I told the two girls if they didn't come, then they were sheep. And if they did come, then they were leaders. And I asked them, do you want to be a sheep or do you want to be a leader? And they both came.
Oh my goodness, the excitement and anticipation. That day came when 26 beautiful, smiling, 9th grade students walked in the door. I remember looking at Mrs. Krauss at that moment and saying, you know, it doesn't get any better.
Traditionally, we had a Gemara teacher who was male and a Tanakh teacher was female. So we switched things around, and a woman became a Gemara teacher, and she ultimately became the head of the Talmud department. It was kind of showing what we were trying to do, that they should be equally, able to teach in either department.
Teaching of Gemara back then was still a novel piece for young women in a single-sex school.
The other thing that we introduced right away was adapting the Beit Midrash, Chavruta kind of way of learning.
Maayanot was the first school to have that kind of environment. There's just something kind of magical that happens when young women are together discussing things of great importance to them. I think it sort of sets up a great framework for what a female approach to learning could be. I just had never seen anything like that before.
They really encouraged me to advocate for myself and think for myself. It wasn't about memorization, which it had been in the past.
I fell in love with learning, with Jewish studies, with literature. Now I teach literature. I also give shiurim.
Today, women are very much in the forefront of taking part in the leadership of the Jewish community.
And it all really got started at Maayanot.
Maayanot taught me I could have a chelek in Torah, contribute to the Jewish community in a really serious way. I am now a Judaic studies teacher, and they are the reasons I wanted to become a Torah teacher.
We're not the same school that we were 20 years ago. Thank God Maayanot is a booming and thriving school.
It's a school that's highly respected and now really has become a mainstay of Bergen County. And the graduates really, they get into top seminaries in Israel, they get into top universities. I see so many graduates out there who are really leaders in the larger world and really doing wonderful things to give back to the community.
Maayanot made normative what was at its time, at its founding, quite radical.
It is so exciting, and I'm so enthusiastic about where Maayanot is, because when we started, this is where we hoped we'd be.
Really hot.